Hey y'all, this is Wendy. This is Wendy's Parade. We talk about perfumes here. It's been a hot minute. Work is trying to kill me. I've just been tired. I prefer to do like long format perfume reviews where I just talk about one scent at a time, but that actually requires a bit of bandwidth. I'm lacking bandwidth lately. I've been wearing a lot of perfume still though, and it's winter time. And I noticed that a theme from a lot of the perfumes I'm wearing is that they have a cocoa note or a chocolate note. So I'm going to talk about nine-ish, 10-ish perfumes that have a cocoa note. I hate the word cacao. To me, that sounds like a noise an animal makes when it's unhappy. Like, I don't like that word. So it's either going to be chocolate or cocoa. These are not going to be single note fragrances or like soliflores. They're either fragrances that have a strong cocoa presence or even a strong accord of cocoa. Like they not even be a chocolate note in the note list, but to me, they smell like they have chocolate in them. So it's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. I have everything divided into like designer and very obvious. I'll just get those two out of the way because I think my first two are ones that like every single person that is into perfume on the planet knows about. Then we'll go to niche and then we'll go to vintage because you got to end on the best, right? Vintage is the best. Who do I start with? Do I do the Tom Ford or I do the Carolina Herrera? Let's just do the Tom Ford. Black orchid, mushrooms and chocolate, and white florals, and dark woods, and all that other stuff. It's positively weird. It's strong. Everybody knows it. It has a lot of cocoa, though. And truly, like that dark, I don't know, because I think they have a little play on words because there's a truffle note, and there is a mushroom note in here, but truffle is also like a chocolate thing. So if such a thing existed, a chocolate truffle with a lot of white flowers, this would be it. So number one, chocolate fragrance, number one on my list, not number one. These are not in any sort of order. Tom Ford Black Orchid. Number two, the shoe fragrance. You know, I know a lot of people think that Good Girl, I've seen it at this point, it's so popular and it's so well known that it's now going on, you're tacky if you wear this. I don't think it's tacky. I don't know. I don't know what smelling tacky means. I have perfumes that I don't like for various reasons, but I've never smelled anyone that actually smells tacky. So I really like this. This is lots of chocolate and lots of tuberose. There's also a coffee note, and the base is very like warm and wooded and musky. So it just has this super blended chocolatey tuberose with a lot of musk. I like it, and it's good for winter. So I'm of two minds on the bottle, though. At least they made an attempt to be different. It's definitely different. So here's Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. Okay, now this is a men's fragrance, but I think unless if you are like, I only wear women's fragrances, I only smell sweet, I don't do anything dark, I don't do anything woody, you're not going to like this. But this is L'Instant pour Homme by Guerlain. I only have the Eau de Parfum. The original is an eau de toilette that had an old bottle. It's been reformulated, yada, yada. But this is about $35 currently on FragranceNet. This is so lovely. It is a lot of cocoa and like oranges. And there's also an incense note, and it gets kind of, I mean, it's a man's fragrance. So there's a lot of like incense and patchouli, and it gets really woody at the bottom. But I just got this within the last year. I really like it. It has an excellent cocoa note, especially combined with the almost odd, I don't know if it's odd, but it's like chocolate incense in the heart. It's strange and it's odd, but I really like it, and it's very affordable. So Guerlain, L'Instant pour Homme, and the Eau de Parfum. I have a feeling the Eau de Toilette is similar. Everybody said this was better though, so that's why I got the Eau de Parfum and not the Eau de Toilette. Okay, so except for the Guerlain, those are kind of like my mainstream designer stuff that everybody knows about. So now we're going to get into niche. Oy vey. So we have, I will never be able to replace this if I ever run out of it. Serge Lutens, Borneo 1834. So this is a really interesting one. I'm actually shocked that this was like a unicorn at one time, maybe 5 or 10 years ago. This is very interesting. This has a lot of cocoa. It's loaded with patchouli, dark, bitter patchouli. And my bottle, I don't know about now because of all the regulations and all the rules and everything else, but this is loaded with oak moss. So it's also very earthy and very grounded. And it reminds me of just being in like a dark, silent forest that is covered in fog, and you can just smell the earth. You can smell the greenery, and yeah, it's not sweet. When I say cocoa, this is cacao. It is unfiltered, crushed cocoa beans. It's not sweet. This is so hard to find, and now they put it in those stupid bell jar bottles, so it's like $600 or something. I should just start wearing it. You know, you got to use your stuff. I'm not going to be here forever. But at one point, I used to keep up with my shelves on Fragrantica, and I would put this that I had it, and I had to take it off because all these people would DM me and be like, "Hey, you want to swap that? Hey, I have a, Britney Spears Believe. Do you want to swap that? I'll give you $50 for that." I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't even want to answer these." So I just had to take it off my shelf, pretend I didn't have it. But yeah, this is like a chocolate chypre almost because of the oak moss, but very dark, very niche. If you ever have a chance to smell it and you're into that sort of thing, I recommend it. But at this point, this is very hard to find. Followed with another Serge Lutens, a beautiful rose, chocolate, and sandalwood fragrance, Sental Majuscule. This is a little more heavy on the sandalwood and the rose, in my opinion, but definitely has dark chocolate flanked. This is probably the best chocolatey rose I have ever smelled. This is still available. They redid the packaging. I have no idea what the new formulation smells like. This is my second bottle of this because this is one of my favorite woody roses. But also has a very large cocoa note. So chocolate and roses and sandalwood, if that's your bag. Sental Majuscule. Okay, anyone who watches Ouch 110 Thomas, I tracked this down. This is not available in the US. This is Lush Sappho, because this does not actually have chocolate in the list notes. What this is listed as is a iris, like an iris leather and patchouli scent. But to me, with the patchouli and the amber, and even like the powdery iris, there's something just very chocolatey in here. I don't know, maybe there's, I can't read this right now, but maybe it's because there's tonka, I don't know what it is. But Lush Sappho is a leathery chocolate. That's what it smells like to me, leathery chocolate plus some iris. Just stunning. I got this on Mercari for like $75, and that was not overpaying for it. This is already gone. I'm so sorry. I know some people don't use perfumes that you can't get anymore on their perfume lists, but I can only go by what's on my shelf. So, Lush Sappho, iris, chocolate, and patchouli. Absolutely lovely. So another chocolate leather, more it's like a chocolate suede, is Parfums d'Empire Equestrius. This is like the definition of just sublime. This is, oh gosh. So it's kind of strange because it has this like very bright, sweet, like hay-like fruity note that I can't figure out what it is, but there's like this sheen of brightness, and under that sheen of brightness, this is a violet and iris and leather perfume. And oh my gosh, it's so pretty. As it dries down, it does get a little more rich and sweet because there's like a very deep amber base with a contrasting dryness of some vetiver and sandalwood. But for the most part, this is a hint powdery iris, a hint sweet violet, and it's just laying the chocolate. I don't know if it's layered. Maybe it's like a layer of suede, a layer of dark chocolate, and like some iris and violets on the top. I don't know. I actually like leather combined with almost anything, and the leather and chocolate thing it really works. It's a nice accord, and this is absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful, as most perfumes from this house are. So here is another chocolate scent that I love, Equestrius from Parfums d'Empire. Okay, so those were my niche fragrances. Another two scents that I've been wearing a lot in the winter. There's this crazy hairspray can one. This is from 1987. I've been really wearing this a lot, and here's the box too, if anybody, this is what the box looks like now. I don't know if anyone my age or older has even heard of this perfume or heard of this woman. There's this woman named Ann Pliska. This is almost a celebrity fragrance from the 80s. It's been in and out of production ever since like 1986. I don't know what this, I looked her up on the internet and I can't find anything about this. So I don't know if she was an artist. I don't know if she was a designer. I don't know what she was, but this is her perfume. It's from 1987. And for the longest time, I was like, I couldn't make sense of it because, okay, so this sounds crazy, but this smells like an orange creamsicle on top of orange slices, on top of kind of a slightly bitter bouquet. Like there's a lot of geranium in here, but there's also a lot of patchouli and a lot of amber. But that patchouli and amber, lots of patchouli to me smells chocolatey. So this does not have a chocolate note or a chocolate accord in the list of notes, but this dries down is like an almost gourmand amber and gourmand chocolate and gourmand orange. It smells really, really, really good. It's not sweet because like I said, the florals are kind of bitter. One day I may do a whole standalone review for this, but this is my vintage, let's just say this is an ambery chocolate. Ann Pliska, the ambery chocolate from the 80s. And as I was saying, for the longest time, I was like, God, this reminds me of something. This just reminds me of something. And then it hit me. And they're not dupes. I'm not saying anybody copied off each other. I'm not saying get this if you like that. But this reminds me of Coco Mademoiselle, the way it used to be back in 2001, because you have that super bright orange bergamot floral note. Like that orange is just huge. It like punches you in the face. And then, Coco Mad has like roses and jasmine in the heart. This has geranium in the heart. But that bottom really thick, rich patchouli. This patchouli is really thick and rich, so it's not the same thing, but it kind of has that like oranges on top of florals on top of chocolatey patchouli thing going on. Ann Pliska. Okay. I guess this can also be niche, so that's like a nice transition, but to me this is vintage. It's from the 80s. Lastly, another one that does not have chocolate. This is subjective, but Coco by Chanel. I have the Eau de Toilette and I have the Eau de Parfum. And this is another one that now that I have my nose on, I know that because this is loaded with a lot of dark things. At the bottom, there's patchouli and there's actually civet in the older versions. The civet doesn't smell like chocolate. It just makes it smell warm. But the civet adds a warmth. I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry. So Coco, Oriental Spicy from the 1980s, has a very, very dark dry down. There's a lot of resins. There's a lot of labdanum. There's a lot of incense. There's a lot of patchouli. There's some sandalwood. So all of that added, the Eau de Toilette kind of smells like, it smells like smooth hot chocolate. It smells like smooth hot chocolate. Not the whole thing. It has a smooth hot chocolate note. The Eau de Parfum, though, that smells like there are just like chunks of dark chocolate in it. And with the patchouli, there's like patchouli and dark chocolate and labdanum and amber, and just that whole accord creates some chocolate. So I feel like there's some chocolate in here. I don't know what anyone else would think about this. This is not going to sit well with most people nowadays because it's spicy and it's rich and it's big and it's loud and there's just a lot going on here, and it's not clean and easy. This is for us old ladies. Thank God I'm an old lady. I've been an old lady since I was like 25 though, so I don't care. But Coco by Chanel. So that's my second vintage, and that's pretty much my list. I don't like the idea of wearing a chocolate perfume that just smells like chocolate. I'm not much of a sweet tooth. I'm not much of a gourmand person, but just as an added accord or as an added note, or as an added feeling. Half of these perfumes, I don't think they were supposed to have chocolate on, but they just feel like they do. So that's my chocolate selections for the winter. I don't think I wear any of these perfumes in the summertime. Chocolate is not something I want to be wearing in the summer because then it feels like it's just melting off of me or something. But anyway, I am going to be trying to do perfume reviews like once a week. Like I said, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. It's hard to like organize your thoughts, it's hard to like sit down and it's like you have a class. It's like did anyone take communications in college or high school? It's like, it really is. You have to organize yourself. You have to take some notes. You have to do some research and you have to be ready to be coherent. And I'm not ready to be coherent these days. So Anyway, I hope everyone liked my list. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite cacao, chocolate, cocoa fragrances are, or what kind of combinations you like. Apparently, I really, really love the cocoa and leather. God, it's like peanut butter and jelly, man. Cocoa and leather. Maybe a dark chocolate in a handbag. I don't know. It just smells so good. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you stayed for the entire 15 minutes of this, I really appreciate that. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.